Rai family lived in a sprawling ancestral mansion in Shimla, perched on a hilltop surrounded by misty pine forests. The mansion, known as Rai Bhavan, had been home to the family for generations. Despite its grandeur, there was an eerie silence that always seemed to linger in its vast corridors. The Rai family was well known for their wealth and political influence, but their family life was far from perfect. The story begins on the night of a tragic incident that shook the household, a murder shrouded in mystery and deceit. Ranjana Rai, the matriarch of the family, was found dead in her bedroom. The official statement claimed she died of a heart attack, but whispers among the servants and locals suggested otherwise. Some claimed to have seen her wandering the mansion late at night, her pale figure blending into the shadows. Rishabh Rai, her stepson, returned from London after the news of her death. He was a quiet, observant young man, deeply attached to Ranjana, who had raised him after his mother's death. As Rishabh entered the mansion, he couldn't shake off the unease that gripped him. The air was cold, the house darker than he remembered, and the staff avoided meeting his gaze. At dinner that night, Rishabh noticed the strained dynamics between his father, Mahendra Rai, and his stepbrother, Adifir. Mira, his cousin, seemed equally uncomfortable, rarely speaking and avoiding everyone's eyes. Rishabh began to notice strange occurrences in the house. At midnight, he heard whispers outside his room, but when he opened the door, the corridor was empty. Ranjana's piano, untouched since her death, began playing melancholic tunes by itself. The strangest moment came when Rishabh was in the family portrait hall. As he stood before Ranjana's portrait, he felt a cold hand on his shoulder. He turned around, but no one was there. He looked back at the portrait, and for a fleeting second, her painted eyes seemed to move. Determined to find out what was happening, Rishabh questioned the staff. An old servant, Ramcharan, finally broke down. He confessed that Ranjana's death wasn't natural. She had been poisoned during a family dinner, and her spirit now roamed the mansion, seeking justice. That night, Rishabh had a dream, or so he thought. Ranjana appeared before him, her figure translucent, her eyes filled with sorrow. "They killed me, Rishabh," she whispered. "Find the truth before it's too late." Rishabh woke up drenched in sweat. He decided to investigate further. Rishabh noticed Adifir frequently visiting the basement. One night, he followed him, hiding in the shadows. What he found sent chills down his spine. Adifir was burning papers, financial documents that proved Ranjana was planning to cut him out of her will. The next day, Rishabh confronted Mira, who seemed to be hiding something. After much hesitation, she revealed that she had overheard Mahendra and Adifir arguing on the night of Ranjana's death. They had accused her of favoritism towards Rishabh and plotted to get rid of her to gain control of the family fortune. Mira's words confirmed Ranjana's accusations. The father and son were the culprits. Rishabh decided to expose the truth during a family gathering. With the staff present, he played a recording he had secretly made of Adifir confessing to Mira about the poisoning. The room fell silent as the truth unraveled. Mahendra tried to deny the accusations, but Rishabh's evidence was undeniable. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and a cold gust of wind swept through the room. Ranjana's ghost appeared, her presence freezing everyone in their place. She pointed a spectral finger at Mahendra and Adifir. "You will pay for what you've done," she said, her voice echoing through the mansion. The chandelier crashed to the ground, and the walls seemed to tremble. Mahendra and Adifir screamed as they were dragged into the shadows by an unseen force. Their cries echoed until they faded into silence. The mansion was eerily silent after that night. Mahendra and Adifir were never seen again. The police investigation ruled it as a disappearance, but Rishabh and Mira knew the truth. Rishabh decided to leave Rai Bhavan, unable to live with the memories of what had happened. As he packed his belongings, he glanced at Ranjana's portrait one last time. Her expression seemed softer, her eyes at peace. As he drove away, the mist closed around the mansion, hiding it from view. But deep in the shadows of Rai Bhavan, the piano played one final tune, a melody of justice and sorrow. Some betrayals are too dark to be buried. Some secrets too dangerous to stay hidden. What would you do if a ghost demanded justice? Could you face the truth, even if it tore your world apart?